Alright guys, today we will be talking about, and I want to show off some very cool things about my favorite book series of all time, Red Rising. And not just the first Red Rising book, but the whole dang series. So let's hop into it. Alright guys, so like I just said, we were talking about Red Rising, a sci-fi slash little sprinkle of fantasy in there. They are by Pierce Brown, absolute GOAT, love the guy. Red Rising has an original 3-book trilogy with Red Rising, the original book, Golden Sun, the second book, and Morning Star, the third book. And those 3 by themselves can pretty much stand alone. But if you're like me and you fall in love with these books, you got 3 more with a 4th coming out, I pray, this year. Iron Gold, Dark Age, and Lightbringer. I have Lightbringer, but I have a hard copy version that I used for something I will be showing off later. So that is the original Lightbringer cover right there. But now let's just talk about these books. I want to give a little quick summary of some of the stuff, and then we'll talk about my thoughts individually, try to give a little spoiler-free review the best I can. So stick around if you want to hear my thoughts on every book, and some of the very, very cool alternate covers that you see in the thumbnail. So stick around the end, I'll show you each one of those and all the cool stuff about it. As it says in the name, Red Rising is kind of a story about uprising and going up through the ranks. It is based on Mars, with the main character Darrow having to claw his way up through the social hierarchy of colors. As red is the low color. There are high colors like gold. There's a vast variety of different colors in this that make up different social groups. And Darrow is at the bottom in the reds, basically a slave in the mines of Mars, completely lied to his whole life, and rises up. And after the first book, that kind of is his origin story in kind of a stagnant place. The rest take off into this crazy space opera of awesome characters, awesome fights, and just awesomeness. So back to the color thing, as you can see right here, this is like a little pyramid of all the colors, and it gives a little explanation right here. Gold is at the top, being the fiercely intelligent rulers of humanity. Silver are the innovators, financiers, and businessmen. White are the priests and priestesses who oversee ritual functions of the society. Copper are administrators, lawyers, and bureaucrats. And then there's the next tier down of mid-tier colors, which are blues, yellows, greens, violets, and oranges, and grays, which pretty much are starship drivers, doctors, tech developers, mechanics, police, musicians, and artists. And then there is the lower colors with brown, obsidian, pink, and at the very bottom, reds. Reds are pretty much manual labor slaves. Pinks are pretty much prostitutes, or it rhymes with hex slaves. Don't want to get demonetized. That's pretty much what pinks are, unfortunately. Obsidians are kind of like these big giant monsters only bred for war and to be killed, and browns are just home servants, nannies. So that's the social hierarchy. As I explain this, maybe that can help you think about what I'm talking about in your head if you've never read any of these books and you're looking at this video to read the books. And if you've already read them, you're probably just here to indulge my love of Red Rising with me. So I'll start with my review of each book, and we'll go down the line. As I review each of the regular books, I will also be showing my special covers for these. So as you can see, we got Red Rising here and Red Rising here. Now these come from a site called Nerdy Ink. Absolutely love the stuff that they do. Very, very, very fairly priced for all 6 of these. For all 6 of these hardcover dust jackets, it came out to around $40 after shipping and taxes. So very, very nice. As you can see, this is the original Red Rising cover. Pretty plain, still a classic cover. But this one here has an awesome picture of Darrow on the front. Awesome writing. The side goes like that. On the back it says, "Break the chains. Man cannot be freed by the same injustice that enslaved it." Very, very cool. On the inside you have some writing, everything. And there's even details on the inner parts of the dust jacket, which you'll never see, but the fact that they took the time to do that is very cool. So the first Red Rising book, I will say, in my opinion, is the weakest of the bunch. It kind of reminds me of Spacified Hunger Games turned up a little bit with like the violence and stuff. I still absolutely love it. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars just because I might be a little bit biased after reading the rest. But as a standalone book, it would probably maybe rank a little bit lower. Darrow pretty much has to Hunger Games his way into proving he can work his way up. So I would give this first Red Rising book a 4.5 out of 5 stars with maybe a lower rating for the standalone. The second book in the series is Golden Son. Now this one jumps up exponentially in his writing, in Pierce Brown's writing, the characters, everything. And this is the main original cover right here. Pretty much matches the other one. But as you'll see a trend with all of the Nerdy Ink ones, they all match too, but in way cooler ways. We got the Golden Son right here. We got probably one of my favorite characters, my boy Severo, on there. The Golden Sun writing, the matching spine, they all match. They look beautiful. The back, you got them diving on there. It says, "When falls the iron rain, be brave, be brave." I love all the quotes from the books they put on these covers. Very, very cool. There's the side by side. I love displaying these favorite books. Awesome to look at. Golden Sun pretty much just takes it up a notch. A lot more betrayal, they leave that little bubble that they were in the first book. A lot of character development. The writing is a lot more fast paced. The character development way better. The setting, everything is just superb. Definitely one of my favorites, and this is an absolute 5 out of 5 star book for me. Definitely recommend. Get past the first one I was feeling it, but if you were not feeling the first one, pick this one up. I promise you will not be able to stop until you buy the rest. All right, now book 3, the final book in the first trilogy, is Morning Star. This is a perfect send-off to the first 2 books. Like I said, it follows the same trajectory as Golden Sun, expands everything, expands the characters, expands the heartbreak, the character development, the betrayal, and it wraps up the nice storylines of the villains from the first 3 books, all the goals from Darrow, Severo, Mustang, all of those characters. Very, very cool. This one, as you can see on there, has Darrow's Reaper blade. Still following the same format as the other ones. And we got this one right here. That is Ragnar right there. I'm almost 100% sure that's Ragnar. The blue is my favorite color, so I absolutely love this one. Got the matching on the side. Probably one of the coolest backs. You can see behind that there's like this scuffed writing with, it just looks so cool. And on the front it says the Reaper has come and he's brought hell with him. I don't know, these covers are awesome. The only thing more awesome than these covers are the books themselves. So just like the other ones, I would rate Morning Star probably a 5.5 out of 5 star. A lot of these books exceed the 5-star limit for me, and this is definitely one of them. Wraps up the trilogy perfect, and I definitely recommend getting to this one. Now, kicking off the second trilogy, we have Iron Gold. Now, this one for me is the Red Rising of the second trilogy. It is a very, very, very good book, but it is, in my opinion, a setup to the awesomeness that is the rest of them. I still love the characters in this. They have the same characters, great development, but it also introduces some new perspectives. This is when we get the multiple point of views from the different characters. We got Lyria, Ephraim, Lysander, a lot of cool characters. A very cool book in general. I don't like this cover on this one, to be honest, very much at all. But you know what I do like? Bam, that cover right there. I'm almost 100% sure that is Cassius because, you know, he has long flowing locks. This is the Iron Gold cover. I love the coloring on this one. Has that. It says, "Pain is a memory, love does not fade." The matching spine. And then it says, "War eats the victor's last." Absolute beautiful back of the cover on that one. You can see there's even the faded writing on Cassius's face. It's just absolutely beautiful. Just like the book, it expands the storyline as they all get a little bit older, and it is a 4.5 out of 5-star read for me. Now next is the thickest book and the darkest book, no pun intended, Dark Age. Now this one brings the theme of war, loss, death, and everything to a whole in this. The bad characters get real bad, the good characters struggle real bad, and you just get to see a lot of conflict and just a lot of things that the Red Rising fans just eat up. Talking about myself. And I absolutely love it. I love the struggles of the main characters, the pushback with some stuff. There's just a lot of things that they differ from the first 3 books so much, and I really like how Pierce Brown takes these other books in kind of a different way, but continuing that same trajectory. Here is the regular paperback cover. I do like this cover. I think the coloring, I'm saying the word color way too much. I like that shade on there, but this, I think this, besides the OG Red Rising, this might be my favorite of the covers. Looks absolutely beautiful. Right here it says, "I am the walking dead, woe to those who cross my shadow." This one just looks awesome. You got the matching spine, beautiful back on there. I'm not even, if you're to this point in the video, you probably have read this and you know 5.5, 6 stars, absolutely amazing. And that leads us right into Lightbringer, which is the final book in the ones that are out right now. We have Red God coming out, I pray, very soon. But Lightbringer is the final one that we've gotten so far. I don't have the regular paperback for Lightbringer like the other ones because they just released the mass market paperback. But this one is the one I had that I read, and then I slapped the Nerdy Ink cover on it. As you can see, we got Mustang on there. Very nice. This one's a little bit more plain, kind of matches the iron gold vibe, but still, all these covers are awesome. But Lightbringer is probably my favorite out of any of the books. It is just the character work, the world, you get to jump to different worlds. There's so much, the pain and sorrow of what happens to our main characters coming off of this book just gets turned up in this one, and it sets up Red God to literally like this would be, my mind goes blank thinking of this, what could translate to Red God of how good this was. Lightbringer, awesome characters. I'm trying not to say certain names just in case you haven't read the books and you have watched this far and just are curious about each book, so you don't spoil, who's alive, who bites the dust. But our characters are some are alive and well, some are not. There's a vast variety of characters. And I just love this book. This, like I said, probably would rank as my favorite, a definite 6-star book for me. But if you are to this point in the video, you probably have read Red Rising, and you know how awesome it is. Pierce Brown, thank you, bro, for writing some fantastic books. My number one, I got 2 wishes for Red Rising. That Red God is a God tier book, and that we get some form of TV show or movie series done correctly around these. If you're not going to do it right, I will gladly stick with these and reread these multiple times. But if you're going to do it right, it would probably be one of my top 3 favorite franchises ever. Bottom line, I love Red Rising. I would very much recommend this to anybody who likes sci-fi books, who likes the Hunger Games, who does like a fantasy style of book. It is nowhere near full fantasy, but it has some fantastical elements to it. But it does, I would say, like 75% sci-fi. And the space opera, the darkness of the books, so good. And I just would recommend these to anybody who likes reading, and they are definitely my favorite. I hope you guys really, really liked the alternate Nerdy Ink covers that I got. I know, I definitely like them. They're some of my favorite things I've probably ever gotten book-wise. I think they're absolutely awesome. I will put a link to Nerdy Inc. in the description below where you can get some of these, and there's also Percy Jackson, Harry Potter, some other mainstream book series. So that was my overview and my opinions on every single Red Rising book released up to this point. I would really, really appreciate it if you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment. What do you think about Red Rising? Please let me know your opinions, and I will respond back to you with my love on the books too. If you hate them, let me know. Everybody, I hope you all have a very blessed day. Stay safe out there, and go read some Red Rising.
If you guys enjoyed this video, I do lots of unboxings like this, reviews, and analysis. You gotta make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I post more videos.